We talk about true love all the time. But what if I told you that our whole idea of it might be, well, just the tip of the iceberg? Today, we're going to go way beyond the storybook version to explore a really powerful and honestly pretty challenging concept from Korean philosophy. It's an idea that might just make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the human heart.
So, just for a second, think about it. When you hear true love, what pops into your head? Is it finding that one person, your soulmate? That amazing feeling of just being completely happy and fulfilled, right? Most of the time, our definitions come right back to how we feel, our own personal satisfaction. Well, get ready because the philosophy we're about to unpack, it turns that whole idea on its head.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we've got a roadmap. We're going to start with the basics. What even is Shimjung? Then we'll explore the incredible range of emotions it covers. After that, we'll get into its most radical idea, see how it's seen as a force that actually shapes history, and wrap up with the deep sense of responsibility it calls for.
So let's dive in. What is Shimjung? The source material we're looking at describes it as something way more complex than just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It's more like a super detailed map of the heart, a way of understanding all the different kinds of love with incredible precision.
And right away, the difference is just huge. Our conventional idea of love is so often measured by how other people make us feel happy, right? It's about our comfort, our satisfaction. Shimjung just completely flips that. It's measured by your ability to truly feel another person's reality. It's not an escape into comfort, it's a deep, total immersion into their world, to the point where you actually take on their burdens as your own. But Shimjung isn't one simple emotion. Not at all. It's more like this rich, complicated tapestry of feeling. The source actually calls it an unresolved history, which is such a powerful idea. It suggests our hearts are carrying not just what we feel today, but all the emotional echoes of the past. Let's break down the word itself. Shim means heart, and jung means feeling. Simple enough. But together, Shimjung points to the absolute deepest currents of the heart. And here's the wild part. The source frames this as plugging into a cosmic emotional reality. It's a state of being that carries this unresolved history of joy and pain and longing, not just from your life, but from the very beginning. So what is this cosmic reality made of? Well, it rests on three main pillars. You've got joy and sorrow, which we all know, but it's this third one, gumrarium. That's the real key. This is a deep, almost physical kind of longing, a powerful yearning for connection, for things to be made right. And it sits at the absolute core of the soul philosophy. This quote, wow, it just perfectly captures the kind of intensity we're talking about. According to this way of thinking, love isn't some safe, comfortable place in the middle. No, it is the direct source of both our deepest, most profound sorrow and our most incredible, ecstatic joy. The goal isn't to somehow avoid the pain. It's to be brave enough to experience the full, intense, breathtaking spectrum of what it means to be truly connected. All right, now we're getting to what the source calls the most disruptive part of Shimjung. This is the piece that asks us to do something truly radical, to completely shift our entire emotional center of gravity, to move it away from ourselves. I mean, just look at this. The model we usually operate on, our default setting, is the egocentric one. The self is in the middle, and other people, in a way, are there to make sure we're happy. The Shimjung model just completely inverts it. The other person is at the center, and yourself now exists to ensure their happiness. It is a total 180-degree reorientation of your inner world. And this just totally redefines what the test of love even is. It's no longer about how happy is this person making me. The real question becomes, how deeply can I feel what they're feeling? Can I actually take on their burden? Not like it's a chore, but like it's a privilege. This goes way beyond just empathy. It's about a complete and active resonance with another person's soul. Okay, so we've been talking about this really personal internal state. But now the philosophy zooms way out. It suggests that this deep longing isn't just a private feeling inside you or me. It's a powerful force that can actually steer the entire course of human history. The source uses the history of the unification movement as an example here. You look at its start in the 1950s, then see it expand during the Cold War, and then into the 80s. The world outside was changing like crazy.
But that core message, that singular, unwavering longing to restore the bond between humanity and the divine, that internal frequency, that gurium, it never changed.
And this perspective explains a really fascinating viewpoint. If you were looking at the world through a purely rational geopolitical lens, predictions about something like the fall of global communism would have seemed impossible, right? Just absurd. But if you look through the lens of Shimjung, these massive historical shifts weren't just possible, they were seen as inevitable. They were the necessary resolutions to a deep, unresolved emotional and spiritual fracture in the world.
So, all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most profound piece of the puzzle. Shimjung isn't just about a new way to feel things. It's presented as a deep call to action, a sense of personal responsibility that we all have to help move the world forward. So, what does this path actually look like? How do you even do this? Well, it starts by displacing the ego, basically making your own happiness secondary. From that place, you learn to resonate deeply with other people, really taking on their reality. And that process is said to transform you into a custodian of a divine emotional reality, a heart that's bigger than your own. And in doing so, you can actually begin to heal the deep fractures in the human story.
Let's just let that sink in for a moment. The ultimate goal is not our own happiness. The goal is a deep resonance with the feelings of others. That's the core principle. That's the shift that changes absolutely everything. And so, we're left with this question from the source material, a really powerful thought to take with you. If that was our new metric for success, not how happy we are, but how deeply we can resonate with other people, just imagine, how would our world begin to change starting tomorrow?